Try to picture a girl through a looking glass and see her as a carbon atom. See her eyes and stare back at them. See the girl as her own new world. Though her home is on the surface, she is still a universe. Glory God, oh God is peeking through the blinds. Are we all here standing naked, taking guesses at the actual date and time? Oh my, justifying reasons why is an absolutely insane resolution to live by. Live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, live righteously. Taking it easy, live high, live mighty, live righteously. Let's take it easy.
My name is Munira Premji. I'm 54 years old, and in 2012 of February I was diagnosed with 2 cancers. You know, I remember the exact moment. It was February 3rd of 2012 at 4:08 p.m. Dr. Wu from Toronto General Hospital came into my hospital bed and told Naguib, my husband, and myself that tests showed that I had stage 3 multiple myeloma. And we just looked at him in complete disbelief, complete shock. We had expected perhaps that I may have anemia, but cancer? Cancer? Like, where did that come from? We were overwhelmed, we were shocked, we were just totally floored. And I remember the first question I asked Dr. Wu was, how long do I have to live? And his answer was variable. You know, what does variable mean? You know, in my mind, I'd already decided that I had, 2 weeks to live, and that was it. Naguib and I just held each other tight and wouldn't let go of each other. We just didn't know how to continue. What happened to our dreams of living together happily ever after? How do we tell our children? I mean, what does life look like after this? And between tears and heartbreak, we just held on to each other and took comfort in that. And then I became this frantic machine. I mean, I thought I had 2 weeks to live, and I remembered that our house needed hardwood floors. And, I just started making phone calls, like random phone calls, because I wanted these hardwood floors done. And 3 days after my diagnosis, our house had hardwood floors. But things were going to get worse, so much worse. I was back at work, and Dr. Jean Wang, our hematologist, phoned me at work to say that my bone marrow was doing some funny stuff and I needed to come back for more tests. And those further tests revealed that I had a very aggressive moving stage 4 non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Dr. Wang referred me to an oncologist by the name of Dr. Tiedemann, who had expertise in both myeloma and lymphoma. And when he looked at my situation, he said, we've got to put the myeloma on hold, and we've got to really focus on getting rid of the lymphoma, otherwise you're just not going to make it. Basically, the treatment for the lymphoma was very invasive chemotherapy called R-CHOP. And I went through this chemotherapy every 3 weeks for a full day. And this continued for 4 months. And I got to tell you, it was not an easy experience. During that time, I got so many infections, and I just ended up going to the hospital with febrile neutropenia, which really means high fever. And I would end up staying in the hospital for many days. But you know, through all of that, God was right there looking after me. And 4 months later, I was able to overcome the lymphoma and was declared by Dr. Tiedemann, you know, said that the lymphoma was now in remission. One of the times that I remember most vividly about this experience was when I was in emergency one time, and the doctors in emergency had pretty much given up on me, and they had prepared me and my family to the fact that I might not make it. My hemoglobin count was very, very low at 36. My family and I were sitting together praying, and I remember looking at each one of them and thinking, this is the absolute last time that I'm going to ever pray with them. And I remember wishing them each really well through their lives, and then ended up in intensive care for a couple of days. But again, you know, God basically looked after me, and I remember dreaming that He said, you know, I got this one, you'll be fine. So with the treatment of lymphoma done, we went to Florida for a week of vacation, came back, and in July we started treatment for the multiple myeloma. The treatment for multiple myeloma was so different. One of the things was, you know, a different kind of chemo, which was once a week, every week, for a period of time. Myeloma is a pesky disease. You know, there is no cure for it at this point. My oncologist recommended that I have a stem cell transplant, which I did in February of this year. And that was a very interesting process. We had to go with harvesting my own stem cells, collecting them, and then freezing them until it was ready for transplant time. So the transplant happened about 3 months ago. And what the transplant does is it keeps the cancer away for about 2 years. And then it's time for another transplant. So my hope right now is, you know, I'm at a place where my lymphoma is in remission, my myeloma is sort of at bay, and my hope is that we're able to find a cure for the myeloma during my lifetime.
There's your stem cells back.